but we're not paying anybody to compete in the show. You can't do it.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with Dan Solomon, the Mr. Olympia president, who made it loud and clear that they aren't gonna pay any money to Greene for him just to do the Masters Olympia. Which by the way is a decision that every bodybuilding fan who feel like they have been betrayed by Greene over the years for always making all those claims that he's gonna make a comeback just to get that social media hype and attention and eventually not fulfilling his promise for almost 8 years straight. So they all feel like that it is the right decision and maybe Kai took way too long to play this card. So for those of you guys who do not remember, the last Olympia competition that he did back in 2014, more than 10 years back, and he was even handed a special invite a couple of years after that, to which he did not respond positively. Now I am pretty sure had he put his demand on the table back in the day when Phil Heath was still the champion, maybe the promoters could have taken it a bit more seriously, because that Phil versus Kai rivalry, that was probably the most intense one in that entire bodybuilding history, and that we all know would have sold a lot of tickets and brought a lot of engagement. Sadly, Greene is now 51, and we do not even know whether he was serious about this comeback when he said he has to be paid in order to compete. So there is his answer. But that being said, Greene has already cemented his legacy as one of the best to ever grace that Miss Olympia stage. He is a multiple times Arnold champion, a 3 times runner-up at the Olympia. But I'm afraid to say that 2016 Arnold Ohio, that will be remembered as the last time he competed. But do let me know what you guys think about the decision made by Dan Solomon.
All of a sudden, it creates an economic dynamic, right? Where people would then question the outcome of the show.
Fuel your workouts with the best supplements in the game and use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. Next up, we have roughly 6 to 7 weeks out physique update from Nitin Diasha. So he has confirmed his attendance for this upcoming Dubai Pro. But there is a high likelihood that an in-shape Nitin Diasha that won't miss the opportunity to compete in multiple of those shows, which are happening in June and July, to add more pro wins to his resume, as that we all know is his ultimate goal right now, to get as many pro wins as he can before he hangs up the posing trunks. And Nitin is a very smart bodybuilder in a sense that he always understood that bodybuilding is a business. The more he competes, the more are the chances of him making some money. So last year he did a total of 3 shows in a matter of just a few weeks. He won Portugal Pro, where he beat William Bonac, and here we are, 7 weeks out of this upcoming Dubai Pro, where Nitin is gonna go up against his arch rival, Behrooz, aiming to beat him for the very first time, as Behrooz has beaten him in all the 3 shows that these guys did together. So if you look back at the physique that he presented last year at Dubai Pro, which was his last show of the season, that physique was actually really impressive. But both William Bonac and Behrooz, they looked even better. So this was another productive off-season for Nitin Diasha, where he did put on some size again, especially in his hamstrings, which always has been his biggest weakness. So we will see how that final package looks like at this upcoming Dubai Pro. Now Nitin's chest and his shoulders, they are one of the craziest out there. I personally think the fuller look that he brought in his first show last year, Italy Pro, that suits him a lot better. If only he can maintain that waistline at the same time. Because the thing is that came with a downside. That is obliques. They appeared bigger, and maybe he can fix that in the upcoming season and win some shows. So him beating William Bonac last year, that is a clear-cut sign that Nitin is still a top 7 or a top 8 Olympian in the world if he can make it into the US. Next up, we have an update from Marcelo, aka Horse MD, the Brazilian star, who impressed us all with his physique transformation from the Arnold Ohio last year, where he looked totally out of place to both the shows that he did in the post-Olympia tour, especially the last one, the Big Man Weekend, where he lost to Akeem Williams. So the most impressive aspect of his transformation was that he was able to improve his back, particularly his back double biceps, which was his worst pose, and that too by quite some margin. And that was just at the Arnold Ohio last year, plus the conditioning that Hossamdi brought at his last show, the Big Man Weekend against Akeem Williams. That was highly appreciated. So he was able to beat a guy like Emir, who is one of the most ripped and one of the most peeled guy in the pro league right now. And he also beat Andre Presti, who is a 3 times former Olympian. So Hosstile has the tools to make it to this year's Olympia stage. If he doesn't get unlucky that a top 10 Olympian, he decides to jump into the shoe, which Hosstile is also planning to do this year, because that is exactly what happened at the Big Man weekend last year. Now Hosstile has some of the craziest quads, from the front and from the side. The sweep is probably one of the best in the business, and because of that, he will always be playing that catch-up game in terms of where his upper body is at. So no show announcement as of right now. Maybe he could have done the Arnold Brazil and see how he compares to the likes of Good Vito. Next up we have physique update of Krystian Wolski, the guy who finished 5th at the New York Pro last year, but he got the attention of a lot of the experts out there because of the transformation that he was able to make in 1.5 years, or roughly in that time span. And secondly, because of how complete he looked, top to bottom, front to back. Now Wolski kept on competing in several shows after the New York Pro last year, but his look kind of faded the more he competed. So he was able to crack top 3 for the very first time in his career at California Pro last year. But that wasn't as strong of a lineup, especially in comparison to the one that we had at the New York Pro. Now, if I'm not mistaken, no IFBB Pro, from the men's open class especially, competed more than Krystian Wolski last year. He appeared on the stage a total of 7 times, as his last show was the Big Man weekend, where by the way he placed outside of that top 6. So competing for that long, that kind of did more harm than good, because he still needs more size, especially in certain areas. Now he had a good long off season afterwards to make some improvements, and this is just about the time. The prep is about to begin. Now we know this is a very competitive era, especially in the men's open. There are some very good physiques, and Krystian Wolski is definitely one of them. And he's gonna have to fight like his life depends on it if he wants to get to that Miss Olympia stage this year. Next up we have the physique update from Wesley Vasser. 4 weeks post Detroit Pro this year, which will be his last show for quite a while, as the Verge announced that he's gonna be taking the whole year off and just focus on bringing up his legs, and he won't even be thinking about stepping on the stage unless he's confident that he has made some solid improvements, especially in terms of size on his lower half, more specifically in his hamstrings and the glutes. So the look that Wesley brought at this past Detroit Pro, that was his best ever according to him. He was drastically improved from the Arnold Ohio this year. The legs looked a lot fuller. His trademark upper body muscularity that also came back. But the point remains the same. Despite presenting his all-time best, he wasn't able to win that shoe, meaning the chances of him ever winning the Arnold again or placing top 3 at the Olympia, they are very, very slim. He has to make sure that he grows, but at the same time be very consistent as far as making that weight cutoff is concerned. So his quads might improve, but it's gonna be kind of hard to maintain that much muscle mass while getting stage lean whenever he decides to step on the stage next. So some of the experts out there advised him to pursue the men's open bodybuilding. Well, that is also a very tough road. Wesley can get to that Olympia stage even this year if he changes his mind, but it's gonna be hard for him to be even top 8 with those same quads, which by the way was his blessing at the Olympia last year. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.